Yo guys, what's up? It's Inflexxius. Today we're playing Jackson to Malphite top. We're sitting in the tri-bush here trying to cheese the Malphite, but something tells me that the bush is warded. So you know what? We're just gonna go to lane, but we're gonna stall him in that bush long enough for him to lose the XP on these first 3 melee creeps that die here, right? That's gonna make him get level 2 so late and make us get lane prio pretty much automatically, right? So we're gonna try to get an E-trade off on him. Here it is. Always try to E-trade on Malphite. You beat him in the short trades, right? Especially in the early levels. But at pretty much all stages, you beat him in short trades. So you guys will notice that I'm running Phase Rush. I didn't really like it, and I wouldn't recommend it. I was testing it to try it out. But yeah, it came in handy a few times, but I would still prefer Lethal Tempo in this matchup. So we're trying to get the 3-wave crash here, trying to, you know, smash it in, recall, and, you know, reset. We just want to soften him up as much as we can before we do that, so that's why we're trading so aggressively here. Because for every health point that we get from him now is 1 health point less he's going to have when the wave is pushing back towards us, right? And that increases our chance of getting a freeze. So here it is. So now we want to try to trade with him and thin the wave at the same time, right? So these E-trades are doing a really good job of that there. We can trade on him again here, just to keep his shield on cooldown and to use our corrupting potions and our health lead. Now, he doesn't respect our damage, and our E's coming up in a second, so we can just kind of go on him here and bonk one more, finish him off. Now we want to crash the wave here. If we can get this wave in, we're in such a good spot now, and we do manage to, so that's really good, right? So we get our Sheen. This is a Q-Max Malphite. His poke is really good, but we do beat him in trades, and we do want to trade with him really often, because that forces him to use his abilities that aren't as leveled, right? If we just sit in lane and let him spam Qs on us, then, you know, he gets to just use the one skill that he's leveling over and over, which is Q, right? So there I messed up the trade. I tried to go for an extra auto after I stunned him, which you're not supposed to do, otherwise, you know, he gets to catch up to you and bonk you with the W. Here I messed up the trade again. I should have, because he Q'd me midair, right? I needed to walk with him to land the stun, and then I auto-W him. But because I auto-W'd him first, he got out of my E-range, and then he could walk back and trade on me. So I had to recall there because I messed up those 2 trades, but it's fine. Now I can just all-in him here, and we knew that we were going to get level 6 really quickly, or really soon, so we could just like all-in there, wait for the tower to kill the last minion that we needed for 6, and then, you know, just fight him. So, up to top lane again. We're getting closer to our Divine Sunder. Once we get that, it's a huge power spike. We're just aggressively trading on the Malphite here again. Just keep jumping on his head. Lily is doing stuff in their jungle, so we want to, you know, get the wave. We want to thin the wave so that we can, you know, use it, right? Here we keep trading. We're just constantly trading with this Malphite, constantly softening him up. Maybe Lilia can look for a play here as well. So Malphite goes over and wards and ults, and Victor shows up, and yeah. Unfortunate. So now Malphite's ult is on cooldown. That's not bad for us, actually, right? Because Malphite is a lot weaker without his ultimate, so we can use that. But not right now, because Skarner's topside, right? Now, I don't expect Skarner to be up here forever, right? So I'm just going to, you know, play safe for a little bit. And then I jump on his head. Just force the all-in on the Malphite here. And there the Phase Rush came in handy, right? His Q would usually be enough to kind of let him almost walk out there, right? But Phase Rush there actually helped us force his flash. That was nice. Phase Rush is nice if you're ahead of the Malphite. Now, Skarner takes Herald. That means we can no longer play the game. We now have to run away. And here he comes top lane here. So Skarner flashes on us here. We counter-strike immediately, land the stun, and then we need to flash away because if Skarner autos us there and stuns us, we're going to die there. And then Skarner is going to drop his Herald, and then we're going to lose a lot of plates. So I was going to back there, but then I realized that Skarner was actually backing, so I decided to stay. And then Malphite actually just Qs us under tower and tanks a tower shot and then lets us kill him. So that's really great. Now, that was really risky because I didn't know exactly when Malphite's ult was coming back. It was probably soon, but I wasn't exactly sure when. So his ult could have been up there and then we would have just died, right? So we have a Divine Sunderer now, so now we can trade on the Malphite really hard. Extend the trade until W comes back, at which point we can, you know, just proc our Divine Sunderer on him again. So now we keep the freeze on him. Malphite is playing really safe here because we brutalized him in that last trade, right? But he wants to go for this cannon. We know he wants this cannon, right? So we can use that as a trade window. So use our phase rush to keep up. Press R on him. And then he R's away. And that's perfectly fine, right? Our R for his R is super worth it. Because his R has a longer cooldown, and he relies on his R a lot more than we rely on ours, right? So notice how I'm running away here, and only trading when my W's up. I only hit back when my W's up to use my Divine Sunderer procs. Keep beating on him here, and here I back out. Now, I might have been able to kill him there, but it would have been really close, right? His E was back up, his W is coming up in 1 or 2 seconds, right? So I might have been able to jump on him and kill him, but it would have been really close, right? One of us would have bursted the other first, and then that person would have died, right? So, and I didn't really want to risk that, because I have the lead, right? I have the lead in the lane. I don't want to risk 50-50s, because if I kill him, that's really nice, right? But if he kills me, that's horrible, because he gets the shutdown, he gets the XP, because we're higher level than him, right? So it's just really, it's too risky. I don't like taking the chance, right? So, back to top lane. Take the trade. Now we crash the wave here, we look to see if we can do something, right? We take the Skarner Spire, we take the ward. We go for another quick trade on the Malphite here. We just go to do stuff in the river because there's nothing else, right? We shoved the wave in, we don't want to just stare at him under his tower, right? Here, a fight's going on bot lane. Now, I don't want to TP in unless it's looking good, right? And I want to say, you know what, a 3-man Nico ult is looking pretty good. So that's Skarner ult and Pyke ult gone, so this looks pretty good. We don't use our Q to get to the Xayah because we don't need to, and it lets us use our Q to disengage with after the E wears off. Pyke jumps onto our Ahri here. We flash the Malphite ult, hit the Pyke. And yeah, that was pretty good. Now, unfortunately, Varus does go down here, but it's a 1-for-1, so it's fine. We can recall here, get our QSS. I'm getting the QSS for mainly the Skarner ult, but also it's valuable into Pyke stun, Victor W, and Xayah E, right? So Lilia's getting kind of comboed here, but she's fine until Pyke hops the wall, and we can just kind of, you know, take him out. Now, I'm hovering here, trying to see if my Ahri can land some CC on the Victor. Unfortunately, she misses the charm. But Victor actually, sorry, Nico lands a root on the Victor, actually, so well played by her. The Flash Everfrost. So we managed to get the kill there. Shove in top lane here. And you know what, now Pyke's here, shove in bot lane. And Pyke was there, so we decide to, you know, we decide not to keep pushing there because we don't want to get collapsed on. We get the Krugs to get enough for our Silvermere Dawn. And now, the other reason we're getting the Silvermere Dawn, by the way, is for the MR. Because Malphite does some magic damage, and Victor does some magic damage. Even Skarner does a bit of magic damage, right? Now, unfortunately, they do manage to sneak Baron off of us because of our lack of wards. That's pretty unfortunate. But now, that's fine, you know, we go top lane, and now we just switch sides, right? We want to be split pushing on the opposite side of the map that the objective is. And since Baron just got taken, the next objective is going to be Dragon, right? Now, we see a fight going on bot lane here, right? I don't want to TP in unless it's looking good. And you know what? At this point, it's looking good, right? So, I should actually start TPing now. But I delay for a second, but it's fine, you know. We know Victor can't TP in because his TP is... He TP top lane, right? But he actually does show up. We flash to land the ult on the Malphite. We get our phase rush to run the Xayah down. I use my Silvermere Dawn there when I meant to use a corrupting potion. Whoops. Jump onto the Victor and finish him off. And good stuff. So now we can recall, start working towards our Black Cleaver. The reason why I'm going Black Cleaver is because, one, it's just really good stats on Jax, sorry. And two, it's really, the Armor Shred passive is really valuable into Malphite, and it's going to be really helpful for the Skarner as well. So, fights breaking out here, it's Dragon time. Ahri lands a charm on the Skarner here. I don't mind walking at him here because I have Silvermere Dawn in case he ults me and tries to drag me into the team. I don't use my Counter-Strike until Pyke hooks me in, so I can use that as a defensive tool. Go over there, finish off the Malphite, body block the Pyke Q on the Nico. And now we get our dragon. Really good stuff. So, I'm really close to my Black Cleaver. I ask the Ahri very nicely if I can have this farm, and she says yes. Now I can recall here. Get my Black Cleaver. Back to bot lane. TP's gonna be up for when Baron spawns, so we want to be applying that split push pressure in bot lane. Now, unfortunately, Ahri's getting caught topside. That means we can free push here, though. Get this pink here. Malphite shows up. So we're going to go take the Scuttle, try to get it before Skarner gets here. And we do manage to get it. Skarner tries to stun us. We scare him off with the Counter-Strike. But he's angry, you know. This is what happens. This is what happens to your jungler when you take their Scuttle, by the way. This is what happens to junglers when you take Scuttles. You know, they just lose it and they just blow a flash. Unfortunately, Lilia gets caught topside. And Malphite's just chilling in the bush there, so you know what, we'll do some trading with him. You know what, we're gonna back out here. Malphite starts TPing topside, so we can actually go contest the... We can actually push for the bot lane tower here. Now, Malphite's chasing us pretty hard, so that means he's probably got help coming. So we're gonna run over here, try to find the Blast Cone. No Blast Cone. And this is pretty horrible. We try to ward hop. Yeah, I mean, we get over the wall and we keep running. Unfortunately, we are now out of mana. Malphite flashes over, keeps chasing, and we go down, unfortunately. So, I could have probably made it out there, but I messed up. I tried to ward hop over the wall with my Trinket Ward. But then I realized that, that I didn't have it up. It was on cooldown. So then I tried to hop over with the pink, but then I mispressed buttons and used my Silvermere Dawn again. At which point I finally get the pink down, but then I get pulled away by a Skarner because my Silvermere Dawn's on cooldown, I can't cleanse it. It's just a disaster. I just can't press buttons, apparently. So, I'm going in here to collapse on them extended in our jungle here. I jump onto the Skarner. Unfortunately, I get immediately one-shot as soon as I do. So, what happened there was, I jumped onto the Skarner and used my Counter-Strike as a stun, right? And that's what happens. That can happen if you use your Counter-Strike purely as a stun, is that you get one-shot by the enemy ADC, right? That Xayah was doing 400 damage per auto to me, right? Like, I didn't realize at the time how close Xayah was, but, you know, that's no excuse. I don't think I even needed to use my stun on the Skarner, to be honest. Now, there's a fight going on bot lane, but we see Xayah moving up over a ward in the river, so we decide to camp for her around the corner. We chase after her with the phase rush, but she manages to root us and get away. I didn't notice at the time that she ghosted. And so I didn't expect her to get out of my movement, my Q range, before her E ran out, right? If I knew that she would, I could have just Q assessed it. But at the time, like I said, at the time I didn't realize that she would just run out of my Q range in time and then just disappear. Because I didn't want to use my Silvermere Dawn for her root, because I wanted it in case Skarner was hiding in the jungle, right? In which case, if he ults me, I don't want to just get shredded by the Xayah. So here we go for a play on the Skarner. He flashes the root, but from the Nico. At which point we should back out, right? Because if you guys look at the disaster unfolding in the bottom left corner of the map, at the time, I didn't notice. So we're trying to kill their tanks here. And unfortunately, I am very bad at looking at the map while I'm fighting, right? So now that there's no red on the screen anymore, I finally look at what's going on at the base, and yeah. So, that's that. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and hope to see you in the next one.